With a terrible cry, the Balrog fell forward, and its shadow plunged down and vanished. But even as it fell, it swung its whip, and the thongs lashed and curled about the wizard's knees, dragging him to the brink. He staggered and fell, grasped vainly at the stone, and slid into the abyss. "Fly, you fools!" he cried, and was gone.
Gandalf's last words as he fell from the bridge of KHAZAD-DUM, taking one of the most powerful monsters of Middle-earth with him, the Balrog. This creature is what we're going to be talking about in today's Lord of the Rings lore bits. Remember, this is lore bits, not everything there is to know about the Balrog.
In the epic high fantasy world created by J.R.R. Tolkien, there are many scary beings that one might come into contact with. But for us, one of these stands out above the rest. In the first volume of Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, we are introduced to a tall, dark, and gloomy figure known as a Balrog. These extremely destructive beings can completely shroud themselves in shadow and fire. In fact, according to Tolkien's writings, the only other creatures that come close in devastation are the mighty dragons.
To learn more about the Balrog, we must go back to the creation song of Tolkien's world, just as we did with the Númenóreans. Check out that video here. Melkor, who became known as Morgoth, was a Valar who was extremely close to the creator Eru Ilúvatar. Remember now that the Valar are the chief gods of Middle-earth. But Melkor had his own desires and thoughts. While Eru was singing the Song of Creation along with the other Ainur, Melkor wanted to create his own creations and beings of his own design. He wanted to gain power and glory even beyond his already high standing.
Now, Secret Fire, aka Flame of Anor, is essentially Eru's secret sauce, his power of creation, to create matter, to create things of his design. Even though this power was for Eru only, Melkor sought this power for himself. But his search was in vain. He never found it. Melkor couldn't create things from nothing, but he did find that he was able to corrupt the creations of Eru Ilúvatar. You may be saying at this point, what does all this have to do with Balrogs? Well, we'll tell you. The creations that Melkor was able to corrupt were the Maiar around him. Some of them were drawn to Melkor's music of discord, and thus fell to his corruption. It is unclear how many fell, but somewhere between 3 and 7, Maiar fell and became the very beast we speak of today, Balrogs. Balrogs were specifically the very first Maiar who fell to Melkor's corruption.
Yes, we know that the number of Balrogs that was actually in existence is a matter of debate.
The mighty Balrog typically wields 2 weapons wreathed with fire. In one hand a long sword, and in the other a whip with many thongs. Though they are said to have the shape of a man, Balrogs are twice the height of a human being. Maiar have the ability to shapeshift into reflections of their thoughts and mood. This is why the Balrog's physical manifestations are twisted, made of shadow and fire. Though they were once beautiful, when they were corrupted by Melkor, their thoughts mirrored his, which caused them to become dark and corrupt just as their evil hearts.
There are only 2 named Balrogs in Tolkien's legendarium. One of them is Gothmog, Lord of the Balrogs. Melkor wanted desperately to destroy the Noldor elves. During the Dagor Nuin Gileath, the battle under the stars, Gothmog, Melkor's captain, mortally wounded the elf Lord Fëanor just before Fëanor's army arrived and drove back Melkor and his army. Melkor then ordered Gothmog and his army to assault the north gate of Gondolin, using iron monsters, which are basically battering ram machines. Through the assault, Noldor was pushed back. Then the elf lord and leader of the people of the fountain, Ecthelion, though wounded, attacked Gothmog to allow the people of the city to escape. Gothmog disarmed and destroyed Ecthelion's right arm. Then Ecthelion impaled Gothmog with his helmet and pushed him back. Both of them fell into the Fountain of the King and were drowned.
Durin's Bane, the second named Balrog, is the Balrog we all know and love. Well, not so much love, but know from the Lord of the Rings. When Melkor was defeated at the end of the War of Wrath, Durin's Bane went into hiding or hibernation down under KHAZAD-DUM, better known as the Mines of Moria. This is where he slept until the dwarves delved too greedily and too deep. Durin the Sixth, the king of these dwarves, awoke him and was slain, thus the name Durin's Bane. He drove the rest of the dwarves from the mines and stayed there until coming into contact with Gandalf. Gandalf did not know at first that the evil surrounding the orcs and trolls in the mines was that of a Balrog. The counterspell was so great that Gandalf eventually realized the nameless terror that the dwarves spoke of was actually a Balrog. The Balrog chased Gandalf and his party across the mines of Moria to the bridge of KHAZAD-DUM. There, Gandalf faced the Balrog along with others to escape, saying,
I am a servant of the fire, wielder of the flame of Onur. You cannot pass. The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Urun. Gandalf is essentially telling Durin's Bane that he was there in the beginning of creation. Gandalf is a Maiar. He has the same rank and power as the Balrog.
After falling from the bridge, Gandalf and the Balrog fight from the very deepest part of the earth to the highest height of the earth for 2 days and nights, before Gandalf finally defeats Durin's Bane.
We certainly hope you learned something today, and if you haven't read from Tolkien's writings, you should definitely check out The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings today. Please like, comment, and share this video. Also subscribe and ring the bell so that you can know when we drop more content for you nomads. Later, guys.